It's time for match number 54. The winner stays alive, the loser goes home. It's Kolkata versus Rajasthan. And we've got Tom Moody and Ajit Agarkar to shed light on a 5-point preview of this game on Whirlpool presents ESPNcricinfo T20 Timeout powered by Dell. Right, gentlemen, there's something that has troubled captains throughout this tournament. Win the toss, bat first, bowl first. That scenario has changed. Now we are saying winning the toss and chasing is a massive advantage. Do you agree?
100% I agree. Clearly, Dew is, over the last few days, has been very prominent in the second half of the game, and batting has appeared to be a lot easier. Also bowling and fielding a lot harder. It makes it difficult for spinners to grip the ball. It also makes it difficult for the pace bowlers just to be precise with their Yorkers and their slower balls. So, yeah, look, it's a critical toss.
It adds to a captain's issues, right, Ajit? Because if Dew is such a big factor, it does influence team selection as well.
Yes, but I mean, if you're looking to bowl first, it doesn't. You still want to try and pick your best 11, especially at this stage where there's so many teams vying for a spot in that playoff. First thing is the 11 that is going to try and win the game for you. So with the weather cooling down as well, the pitches are playing quite well when you're chasing. So seems like a no-brainer at this point that anyone who wins the toss will elect to field first because it has gotten easier chasing.
Since it's a massive game for KKR, we say that they should play Kuldeep Yadav for Rinku Singh to add that much more edge to their bowling. Tom, do you agree?
Yeah, I'd like to see Kuldeep in the side, even though that there is a risk that Dew may make it challenging for him if they end up bowling second. I just think he's a really good matchup against a number of the Rajasthan batsmen, the likes of Stokes and Buttler in particular, that aren't as familiar to that left arm wrist spin, mystery spin as a lot of the the local players would be.
Ajit, 3 spinners in the lineup, is that too much of an aggressive move?
It's only because of the Dew, it could be a bit of a risk, but they're all different bowlers, so I don't think it's a risk. And also, you've got to look at what Rinku Singh is actually offering you. So you'd rather have a guy who's likely to win you a game, be it with the ball on his day, and which is Kuldeep. So you want to try and pack as many match winners as you can on the night because you don't really have any choice but to win.
Given that this is a now or never kind of scenario for the Kolkata Knight Riders, EOIN Morgan has got to take more responsibility with the bat and come higher up the order, no later than number 4, Tom.
Yeah, look, I think it's more about his batting position. He's taking responsibility whenever he's batting, but he's batted 11 times between the position of 5 and 6, and only twice at number 4. There's many experts that have had the opinion that he should be batting 4 permanently, and I'm one of those that would agree with that. And I think certainly this game is a critical game that he needs to lead at that number 4 position.
Ajit, what explains his unwillingness to come up the order? Because it's something that we've all tried to figure out and we still don't have an answer.
Yeah, so we don't have an answer. That's the thing. I mean, there's clearly an unwilling. Look, sometimes you plan a certain thing, but looking at how it's gone for them this tournament, he's got to come up. He's in good form. He's striking the ball well. He's got the experience as well. And your leaders need to take responsibility at this stage. Like we said before, there's not too many choices left with Kolkata, so you may as well put your best players in front.
Now in this game, we are saying Rajasthan should consider opening with Stokes and Buttler because net run rate has come into play. Tom?
Yeah, look, net run rates come into play, but they've got to win the game first, and that's got to be the priority. I wouldn't be making the change. I think UTHAPPA has done a reasonably good job at the top of the order. I would be just encouraging UTHAPPA to really express himself in this game and don't leave anything behind. I wouldn't be saying anything to Ben Stokes because he seems to be in a sweet spot, but I would have Joss Buttler padded up, ready to go at any situation. I think their first focus has to be to win this game.
So Ajit, imagine a scenario they're 80 for no loss. The first wicket falls at the score of 80 in the 7th or the 8th over. Does Buttler come in, or do you still go with Samson followed by Smith followed by Buttler?
No, I think Samson's batted pretty well in the last couple of innings. He's batted really well. In fact, I think he's batted better than the first 2 50s that he got, where he just went bang bang. The last couple of innings have been really responsible. But I still feel if they are in a good position, Butler's got to come ahead of Steve Smith, if anything. There's such a big difference between them in T20 cricket. So you don't want to keep him in the shed for too long, but not not open, in my opinion, as well. At the moment, it's going well for them.
Yes, it was a big batting day for the Rajasthan Royals. And so for this game, in our final point, we're saying Kolkata should look to bowl Varun Chakravarti in the power play.
Yeah, look, I don't mind that idea, but I wouldn't be getting too wound up about it. I'd have an open mind to to having him as an option. I wouldn't start with him, but I'd certainly have him as an option to come in, whether it be the third or fourth over, because he could well be the key that knocks over Stokes, who's one of their form top order players.
Who would you go with, Ajit, at the top of the bowling for Kolkata?
The usual. I mean, Pat Cummins is a world-class bowler, so you'd have to start with him. He can just as well get Buttler out. So, Stokes out. So it'll all be situational. If they don't lose too many wickets, yes, they've got to get Stokes out with the way he's looked in the last couple of games. So Varun Chakravarti is one of the options because he's shown he can bowl in difficult situations. Not many batsmen are reading him at this point. And it is about the wickets in the first 6 overs. If you can get those wickets, especially Stokes, the way it's going for him, then you will certainly put them under a bit more pressure.
Yes, it's a big game, Kolkata versus Rajasthan. We'll find out what happens, but it's been a very wholesome preview of this game. Thanks, Tom and Ajit, for joining us on Whirlpool Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Dell.